If the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
It's almost as if having a child by yourself is a pretty stupid idea. This is coming to us from Gallup. Yeah, that polling place Gallup. They apparently are a news outlet as well. Either ways, single moms struggling worldwide, particularly in the U.S. This is written by Steve Crabtree. This is a pretty short article, but I do want to highlight that how, with the overtaking of feminist ideology and the feminine mindset that, oh my goodness, you're strong and independent. You can do it all on your own. You don't need no man to raise those kids and all that other fun stuff. That's just verifiably false. When we get an opportunity to, chop up these real world consequences and all of these children who are in themselves a generation of, fatherlessness and, misshaped masculinity. Boy, things aren't looking to get any better at the social level anytime soon. Let's not worry about the story highlights. Let's just get into the story. Worldwide Gallup finds that single mothers are more likely than the rest of the population to be struggling to put food on their table and shelter over their head. For example, across 148 countries, 44% of single women aged 18 to 60 with children younger than 15 in the household, a proxy for single mothers, say they have had trouble affording food for their family in the past year compared with 28% of other adults. But the disparities between these single women and the rise of the population are even larger in some countries, including the U.S. Single mothers in the U.S. are significantly more likely than other Americans to say there have been times in the past 12 months when they did not have enough money for food or adequate shelter. These are the numbers. So, like in U.S., Poland, Belgium, Australia, basically the West, I'm not too sure. Yeah, Poland, isn't Poland considered the West? I'm pretty sure Poland and Belgium are considered the West. Countries with the biggest gaps for single moms and the ability to afford shelter. Well, at least we're fourth behind Lithuania, Estonia, France. Yeah. And then between us is North Macedonia. Wow. Okay. These findings are based on 5 iterations of the Gallup World Poll conducted between 2014 and 2018. The World Poll gathers data from more than 140 countries and areas annually, representing more than 99% of the global population. It's important to note that the countries listed above are not those in which single women with children are most likely to struggle overall. As would be expected, those countries are in the world's poorest regions, with far less of a welfare state, right? with far less robust welfare states. Across 40 sub-Saharan African countries, for example, 65% of single women with children in the household say there have been times in the past 12 months when they did not have enough money for food. But this figure reflects the general poverty of populations throughout the region, rather than circumstances specific to single mothers. Among all other residents in sub-Saharan Africa, the figure is only somewhat lower at 61%. In Latin America, single women with children are substantially more likely than other residents to say they've struggled to provide food. However, the difference isn't as great as it is with the US, Canada, and Australia and New Zealand, where such women stand out for their likelihood to experience hardships in societies with a basic baseline level of economic security. In other welfare state, in other economically developed regions, a variety of economic and social factors, such as wealth distribution and public welfare programs, may help explain the similar gap between single women and children and other residents. Okay, so here's some more stats. Implications. All right. Single women raising children often face financial challenges regardless of where they live in the world. But Gallup data suggests that the U.S. is among the countries where they struggle the most relative to the rest of the country's population. Oh, so Western single moms. Oh, yes, they struggle so much that they got to compare them to third worlders. Jesus Christ, guys. Many single mothers in the U.S. live in low-income communities with limited childcare options and few opportunities to find good jobs. Well, they got rid of the jobs, right? So they're talking about urban America. conversation we've had on this platform, on this channel, just so many times, where it's like, yeah, because they have the welfare state there. I just did a video with the woman who sat there and said, oh, well, if I get 6 different baby daddies, I could be making $2,000 a month off each and every one of them. And it's like, sweetie, but that's 6 children. But it doesn't sink in. That math don't work the same way. And like I say early and often on this channel, men and women aren't the same thing, and we do not see the world the same way. Prior research has shown that such conditions often keep single parents focused on day-to-day subsistence, with little change to consider long-term strategies for upward mobility. Some observers, including the authors of the 2017 report from Brookings, the Hamilton Project, conclude that public investments in childcare and other strategies for removing barriers to education and job opportunities for single mothers could help many improve their financial situation while boosting women's overall participation in the labor market, aka more bureaucracy. I'm sorry. Bring manufacturing back. Get these men jobs, and ladies, stop sending their shitting on married single women, right? On married women and housewives and house mothers. Let's get these dudes decent jobs and let them go to work, and then give women the option of working or starting their own little businesses, their beauty boutiques and all this other shit. Because if you look around these spaces, there's tons of women, there's tons of single moms, as we get the stories every day. I own a beauty supply store. 6 months later, that motherfucker's out of business. Would you like to know why? Because guess what? There's like, because there's like 17 other beauty supply shops and hair weave places and salons in that same area, because all these programs are designed for a short-term win and to make a few people a couple of bucks. But as far as overall community health and ensuring that that there's even the option for the nuclear family to really exist, relatively peacefully, is out the window. They're gone. They destroyed it. And now they sit here and wonder, oh my goodness, what the fuck happened? It really is amazing. It really is. And ladies, shit, you ain't gonna listen to me, but until those situations and circumstances changes, maybe you should stop bringing people in the world that you're gonna have a hard time feeding, particularly when you have a hard time feeding yourself. That's all I can say. So guys, with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff, if you like it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do it. Nobody's scared of you. What's up? If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of you boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon. Demolish the description box and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Because honestly, I'm not here to rub shit in. I'm here to point out what the hell happened. Right? Like everyone sits there and wonders, oh my goodness, how could this happen to me? And it's like, yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out how that happened to you. And are we ever going to acknowledge that and then start to turn it around, or what? What are we doing here? Just fundraising for the problem, paying the overhead, giving 5% back to the people who actually need it, and calling it a day? Is that what we're doing here? Because that really feels like what we're doing everywhere, and it's bullshit. Stop crying about the problems. Let's point out the problems and actually go towards fixing them. But you may disagree. That's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.